I believe everyone has seen this scene. A tall and respectable man like a child walking and crying. This scene comes from the 2003 Oscar-winning movie The Pianist. The male lead also won the Oscar for Best Actor that year. The story begins in the war era. The capital of Poland was occupied by the Nazis. The protagonist is a famous pianist. Even though he is talented, he has lost his job. His whole family has lost their jobs. A family of 6 has only 5,003 yuan in cash. The Nazis stipulated that a Jewish family could only have 2,000 yuan. The rest of the money had to be handed in. Should I hand it in? Of course not. Where to hide it? My sister said it would be best to hide it under a flower pot. My father said during World War I, we would chisel a hole in the corner of the table and hide the money. My brother said, the most dangerous place is the safest place. Put the money on the table and cover it with a newspaper. The pianist thought of a way to stuff the money into the cracks of the violin one by one. Even so, the money was spent very well. Soon, after a while, Mom sat on the bed and cried because the family only had 20 yuan left. Not only food and clothing became a problem, Jews were discriminated against wildly. All had to wear white armbands. Walking on the street, Dad would be beaten for not bowing to the Nazis. The iron net was slowly tightened. Soon, the whole family was ordered to move to the Jewish ghetto. 400,000 people were imprisoned together. A wall was built around them. From now on, the biggest problem is no longer discrimination. How not to die. Everyone is starving. They sell their property at a low price in the market. Walked by a man who died on the street. His children cried and called. No one had time to stop. That day, a Jewish policeman came to the house. He was a Jew, hired by the Germans, let them manage their own people. He wanted the pianist and his brother to join the police force. The treatment was good. The family didn't have to worry about food anymore. But both refused. They didn't want to help the enemy bully their compatriots. But if they didn't do it, someone would do it. Life became more and more difficult. That day, the pianist passed by the wall. A child would, while stealing food back. They were thin. They could crawl through dog holes. But not everyone could come back safely. The child was beaten to death by the Germans across the street. When the pianist tried to get him over, he had already stopped breathing. Late that night, the family was drinking potato soup. Suddenly, they heard the sound of German cars outside. Oh no, the Nazis are coming. The lights in the building across the street went dark, one by one. They quickly turned off the lights. Then they heard the bursting German shouts across the street. Nazis appeared in a family. They were eating like them. The Nazis asked everyone to stand up. There was an old man who didn't stand up because he was disabled. As a result, the Nazis drove a group of Jews out, let them run, then shot them all to death. That day, the pianist heard that his brother had been arrested. He hurried to save him. There were corpses everywhere on the road. The pianist came to the Jewish police. He pleaded for mercy, but the other party looked indifferent. Didn't they ask you to join in the first place? The Jewish police left. The pianist began to wait aimlessly. An old man on the side of the road suddenly grabbed a woman's pot. 2. After a fight, the old man immediately lay down and licked the food frantically. The woman could only cry helplessly and hit him with her hat. Without this bowl of porridge, he might be the one who starved to death tomorrow. The brother was finally thrown out by the Jewish police. Soon, the Jews were ordered to move out again. All their luggage was confiscated. They came to a mixed residential area that was like a prison. Here, they were called out by the Nazis. They were picked out one by one. A woman asked softly in German. Not long after, the family was sent to a concentration camp. Before their last reunion, the brother and sister who were selected to work also asked to return to their family and share life and death with their family. The train came. They walked up, just by the roadside. The Jewish police saw the pianist and suddenly pulled him out. The pianist wanted to run back to his family, but was stopped by the police. The father looked at him and did not dare to call him back. Instead, he waved his hand. The pianist wanted to go back, but was knocked down by the Jewish police again. The pianist left. From then on, he had to survive alone, and his family was gone forever.